What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video finally here today on my fishing channel. I'm super excited to be bringing you guys this one because it's not really a fishing video just because it's so cold and nothing's exactly frozen yet where I am. And today's more of like a tips and tricks video, and this will be relating more to spring and summertime when everything's opened up and the bass are moving. This is a tip for bass. So yeah, let's get into this. So if you guys know anything about bass, one of the main rigs a lot of people use is the Wacky rig or the Texas rig for soft plastics such as like a Senko like this. And pretty much what a Texas rig is like a weedless rig that you can just pitch and flip into anything really. So that's what this is. I'll take the hook off in a second so you guys can actually see the hook, but as you guys can see there's no hook point showing, but as soon as you set the hook, if you set the hook it pops out like that, and you hook the fish, and you can just toss this into anything. You can skip this under docks. You can really get this in between boats, bounce it off of logs and stuff, just get it into where the bass are hiding in the summer. Just so you guys can catch them when they're all in the shade when it's hot. So yeah, let's take a close-up look at this. So really, guys, this is what the hook pretty much comes down to. It's pretty much just a J. It's not a J hook, but that's pretty much what it is. As you guys can see, this, like the little eye and the hook are on a straight line. That's so you can hook the worm or whatever you're using straight like that onto it, and no hook point has to be showing, so you can't get it snagged or stuck up in any thing really. That's what the hook looks like. This one's pretty sharp, as you guys can see. It'll stick into my hand relatively easily, and yeah, these are the hooks you would use for a Texas rig. Now let's show you how to rig it. So for your Texas rig, you're going to take your Senko, and then you're going to take your hook. You want this hook to already be tied onto your line, whatever you want, and then you're going to take the hook and pretty much just feed the worm, I'm trying to do this and get it on camera, through the hook like that, okay, and then you're going to push it up all the way to the eye, and like that. Just got to get it all the way up there. And then what you're going to want to do after that is take your this part, the rest of the worm, you're going to want to bend it. You kind of got to guess, and then so it would be like a straight line onto the hook. I'm going to say right about there. Actually, I got to fix this a little bit. This one's been used a lot. You want it on the tip where it goes straight up like that. When I showed you, I had it here still. You want it curves like this and then goes straight up. You want it on that like it is now. And then you're going to guess and say, like right there maybe, will be good. There we go. You want it pretty much as straight of a line as possible. And then you can kind of even it out with your fingers or rehook it, whatever you have to do to make it look really nice, just like that. And then you can have a little, it depends on what you want, you can have a little bit of the hook point showing like I am. If I push down there I can feel it. That way when you set the hook you have a higher chance of catching the fish that takes it. And this you can do a lot of things with it. Once it's already tied on, you can add your little bullet weight or whatever, and you can even use these as drop shots. And these are really useful rigs. You can also use them on other, the Texas rig compared to like the Wacky rig. The Wacky rig, you hook it like this, and then you just bounce it up and down like that. And it's extremely effective as well. That's my preferred one out of these two, but most people tend to prefer this one. At least is what I've seen on YouTube, because you can also use this one with stuff like this, where it's got a curly tail and you could swim it. You could add weights to this, drop shots, whatever you want. You can make this rig, but typically you want to use it with the Texas rigging hook. These are very affordable. They're not super expensive or hard to find or anything. They're one of the most common hooks out there. So when you have that, you can pretty much do anything. And I'll talk about something you can really use these for. So when you're on the boat, and even in a pond, you look for structure, you toss these under. I've made videos all about this before. When I've been bass fishing, I've been using the Wacky rig. You pitch this or toss this or whatever you got to do to get in front of structure. Bounce it up and down a couple times. This you can twitch and you can like drop it like that. It'll hit the ground and then drop it again. You can do all sorts of stuff with these rigs. I'm not really going to show you the Wacky rig just because it's pretty standard. And it's so effective. These are the two most effective rigs I think I've used for bass, using soft plastics. I mean, not hard baits or hard tackle, nothing like that. Just soft plastics. These are the two rigs you're going to want to learn. There's other rigs out there. Most of them aren't really effective. This rig, though, the Texas rig, is something I would really recommend you guys learning. Go learn how to do it. It takes a couple times at first. I couldn't do it at first. It looks more difficult than it seems. At least it was to me when I first tried it a couple years ago. It's really, really effective. I've caught plenty of bass on this rig. I've caught hundreds of bass on the Wacky rig. That's just what I fish with in the summer, is either a Wacky rig or a Texas rig. When I'm fishing ponds and stuff, I love soft plastics or frogs. Those are my favorite baits. Hopefully you guys ended up enjoying this video. Make sure you guys go do try these out. I would not try these down through an ice fishing hole, but I would try these in the spring and summer when it is nice and warm and the bass are moving and sitting in structure and hiding in the shade. You can pitch this underneath docks. You can skip it. I'm going to make a tutorial this summer on how to skip worms and stuff under the docks, just because all the bass are sitting on there. You're going to let it sink and they're going to take it and you're going to get another fish. We've caught 4-pound bass doing that. It's insane how good these rigs work. Hopefully guys, you have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.